Right now, somewhere in your pocket or on the table beside you, your phone is waiting. You haven't touched it in 11 minutes. That feels like forever. Your hand twitches toward it without permission, and you barely notice it happening. You tell yourself it's a bad habit, a modern weakness, a flaw built by an app designed in a Silicon Valley office. But the real answer is far stranger. This urge is not new. It did not begin with smartphones or social media or notifications. It began hundreds of thousands of years ago on a savanna, in a body that needed to scan its environment constantly just to stay alive. The phone in your hand isn't creating a new behavior. It's hijacking one that's almost as old as your species. To understand why you check your phone, you have to understand what your brain was actually built to do. Not work, not scroll, survive. For most of human history, your ancestors lived in small, mobile groups, constantly exposed to threats they could not predict. A rustle in the grass might be wind. It might be a leopard. The humans who survived were not the calmest ones. They were the ones who noticed the rustle first and reacted before they had time to think it through. This is called hypervigilance, and it's simply a heightened, near-constant state of scanning for danger or change in your surroundings. It wasn't a disorder, it was a job requirement. Anthropologist Sarah Hrdy has spent decades studying how early human survival depended on constant social and environmental awareness, not just toward predators, but toward other people, status, alliances, threats from rival groups. Your ancestors needed to know at almost every moment what was happening around them and what it might mean for their safety. That need didn't disappear when humans built houses and stopped sleeping next to fire pits for protection. It just lost its targets. The leopards left. The vigilance stayed. Here's where it gets interesting. Your brain doesn't actually scan for danger in the abstract. It scans for novelty. Anything new, anything unexpected, anything that breaks the pattern of a calm environment gets flagged for attention immediately. New information used to mean a predator nearby, a change in weather, a stranger approaching camp. New information meant something that might kill you, or something that might feed you. So your brain built a reward loop around new information. Specifically, it released a chemical called dopamine, not when you found something good, but the moment you noticed something might be coming. This is the part most people get backwards. Dopamine isn't the reward chemical, it's the anticipation chemical. Neuroscientist Wolfram Schultz first documented this in the 1990s, recording dopamine neurons firing not when an animal received a reward, but in the moments leading up to it, when the animal didn't yet know if the reward was coming. That single distinction explains almost everything about your phone. Every time you check it, you don't know what's there. Maybe nothing. Maybe a message that changes your day. Maybe a notification that means nothing at all. Your brain doesn't know either, and that uncertainty is exactly what makes it impossible to ignore. Psychologist B.F. Skinner discovered this principle decades before smartphones existed. In his experiments with rats and pigeons, animals given food on a random, unpredictable schedule pressed the lever far more often and far more compulsively than animals who were rewarded every single time. Skinner called this a variable ratio reward schedule, and it remains the most powerful behavioral reinforcement pattern ever documented. Your phone runs on the exact same schedule. You don't know when the next message will arrive. You don't know which post will be interesting. You don't know if anyone liked what you shared. That unpredictability is not an accident. It is the entire mechanism. Think about that for a second. The same psychological structure that makes a rat compulsively press a lever in a lab cage is the structure sitting in your pocket right now. Your ancestors didn't have notifications. They had something close enough. A sound in the brush, a shift in the wind, a change in another person's tone of voice. Each one triggered the same ancient circuit, the one built to ask instantly and without permission, "Does this matter to me?" The problem is scale. On the savannah, novel stimuli arrived a handful of times a day. Today, your phone can deliver hundreds of micro-novelties before lunch. Every one of them triggers the same circuit your ancestors used to detect predators and opportunities. Your nervous system has no way of knowing the difference between a genuine threat and a meaningless notification. It responds to both the same way, Attention, now. This is why putting your phone in another room can feel oddly uncomfortable, almost like missing a sense. You're not addicted to the device. You're responding to an ancient survival circuit that has never once received the memo that the danger is gone. There's a deeper layer here too, one tied not just to danger, but to belonging. Evolutionary psychologist Robin Dunbar has spent years researching the size and structure of human social groups, and his research suggests that humans evolved to track relationships within tightly bonded communities, typically no larger than around 150 people. Within that group, knowing your status, your alliances, and who was talking about whom was not gossip. It was survival information, because being excluded from the group in ancient environments often meant death. That tracking instinct never went away either. It just lost its boundaries. Now, instead of monitoring 150 people you actually know, your brain is asked to process signals from thousands of strangers, all competing for that same ancient circuit that once asked a much smaller, much more urgent question. Where do I stand with my group right now? Every like, every comment, every read receipt taps directly into that circuit. Your brain doesn't experience it as a notification from an app. It experiences it as social information that might affect your standing, your safety, your belonging. And just like detecting a predator, the cost of ignoring it once felt far higher than the cost of checking. So when you reach for your phone without deciding to, you're not failing at self-control. You're running code that's older than language, older than agriculture, older than the wheel. Code that once kept your ancestors alive by making sure nothing new ever went unnoticed. Knowing this won't stop the pull entirely, but it changes what the pull means. It's not a personal weakness invented by your generation. It's a survival mechanism, perfectly tuned for a world that no longer exists, now wired into a device that exploits it with stunning precision. Tonight, when you feel your hand drift toward your phone for no clear reason, you won't be choosing to check it. You'll be answering a question your brain has been asking since before there were words for it. Does this matter to me? Right now, your phone is still waiting. So is the rustle in the grass that, somewhere deep in your nervous system, never actually stopped.